Hey, welcome to the Morning Standup. I'm Stacy K, and here I am live at the Rainforest Cafe. And today I'm joined by a very special guest. You may know her. She's an actress in LA, which is where the Rainforest Cafe is. You may know her as Sally Mae in Helluva Boss, and starring in various different, what would you call them, sketches with Brandon Rogers.
Like YouTube comedy series, whatever the fucking format is.
Ladies and gentlemen,
honestly.
give it up for Morgana Ignis.
Hello! Thank you for having me, Stacy. And only one day after Trans Day of Visibility. We're so progressive here.
And one day before Liberation Day, so we're like right in the middle. You know?
Damn, I didn't get the memo on that one. Are we rating tomorrow?
Oh, you don't know Liberation Day?
No. What is Liberation Day? Is that?
That's what Trump is calling the day whenever he imposes all of these horrible tariffs.
Oh, good. I'm so glad
they're billing it as a holiday.
I'm so glad we're being liberated from the oppressive nature of free trade and
global
an economy. That's
yeah,
good.
I hate being rich. It's one of my least favorite things.
Really weighing us down. I've never met a more anti-money capitalist. I
do think that Americans are too spoiled, and like. That's our problem. We're just a bunch of spoiled brats who have no idea how good we got it. So,
listen, if there's
this might make us all grateful for the little things in life, like democracy.
Exactly. No, if there's one thing that I could tell about Trump immediately, it's that he really imposes a sort of like humble minimalist approach to things. So really just taking the economy down to like a few pigs, like all the pigs, like get rid of the pigs.
He's doing the Marie Kondo method on the economy. I think that's the strategy.
Exactly. He stepped in and realized that that free trade and the economy did not spark joy and had to go.
I've been trying to not talk about politics at the top, but we failed right out of the gate.
I mean, look, I would love to ignore politics. I love anybody who's just like, I don't like talking about politics. I'm like, what a blessed fucking life you must have.
How do they do it? I don't know.
That's great. I love like check just in the morning. It's like, where am I a federal crime? That's good. I'm glad I never had money. That's a good thing. It's like cool. This is gonna suck for a lot of people that had money, but I'm just now starting to have like normal grown-up jobs.
I mean, your job might be fine, but it's gonna cause a lot of people to get layoffs, and it'll be more downstream. Like after the stock market goes down and all that kind of stuff, the companies are gonna be looking to reduce overhead, and they're gonna do mass layoffs, and it'll be like the 2007 recession, right? Like it took like 2 years before all of the mass layoffs started and the high unemployment happened and all that kind of stuff. And that's when I was selling Cutco knives door to door because I couldn't get a minimum wage job.
Yeah, this is a terrible time for me to start having grown-up jobs. I'm sorry, I miss just good stable careers like delivering weed and dominatrix work. That was the stable economy. Now I'm in like marketing and shit, and that's for psychopaths. That's for
Sometimes entertainment booms during, the Great Depression. It really took off. So maybe we'll be, we'll have a lot of people blowing up from
escapism.
I mean, comedy and podcasts are cheap as hell.
I'm really relieved.
You don't have to pay a subscription to watch this. So
I'm really relieved that our shows provide so much escapism from people who look around the world right now and go, God, I wish I was in hell. I really wish I could just go straight to hell. That seems so much nicer and so much less complicated than the horrible, horrible real world we live in.
Okay, so many of our viewers might not be 14 and have not seen Helluva Boss.
Listen, we have plenty of 16-year-olds as well who watch this shit. So Helluva Boss is a part of our little Helluverse of shows.
Oh, that's what you call it, Helluverse?
The Helluverse, yeah, it is.
It's not the Hell cinematic universe.
I mean, not yet, but we haven't gotten into the cinematic portion of things yet. Helluva Boss is a series currently on YouTube that involves a company called IMP, the Immediate Murder Professionals, led by Blitz and his team of professional assassins who
all like demons.
They're
right?
all demons.
Yeah.
They're all demons who get hired to go to Earth to get revenge for people who are have been sent to hell. But it's really not about that. It's really about all the interpersonal relationships of our main character Blitz, His
And everybody's gay, right? In
Oh
the
God,
show?
of course. It's hell. All the gay people go to hell, obviously.
Right.
So it's Blitz and his found family of imps and other hellborn, his complicated romantic relationships, the politics of hierarchies and things like that within Hell's system, and him going from a lower class ragtag imp world that he lived in and trying to rise through the ranks against this oppressive system. So, light content.
And they like fight God, right?
They do not fight God. They fight a lot of people in this, but God does not make an appearance.
But did they go to heaven and fight people?
Huh? No.
I thought I saw something about that.
Hazbin Hotel.
Oh,
The first
okay.
season deals with there's a legion of angels called exorcists who come down and purge the sinners once a year, and it's
None
sort
of this
like,
shit is in the Bible, by the way. They're making all of this up.
I wouldn't know. I would not know. I don't know. It's
This is the extended universe of the Bible.
Very
I would
hard
say.
to tell looking at me, but I'm not the biggest Bible reader.
What if in 100 years the Helluverse becomes part of like canon, like not the official canon of the Bible, but like the Catholic Church takes them in as like I can't remember what's the word for it, the extra books that they're not like the real inspired books, but they're nice books to have, you know.
We might be in the future like a Dante's Inferno situation in which there's like no descriptions really of hell in the Bible whatsoever, and everyone just thinks about this by like some Bible fanfic that was written. So yeah, I would love that. I would love that if, just a few hundred years from now, we're actually just talking about the Helliverse. Yeah, maybe this fucking happened. Who knows? Who can say?
I grew up in a right-wing evangelical cult, and they were really big on preaching about hell, but the verses about hell were so sparse. Like they really had to
spice that shit up.
Yeah, they had to bring in a bunch of analogies to other things, and like and of course they would use like pictures from Dante's Inferno and all this extracurricular stuff. But the amount of sermons they preached on hell compared to the source material in the Bible was just like so thin.
You needed to add the spice to it. It's like I think like hell in the Bible is described as just like a cold place away from God where you heard like the gnashing of teeth. There wasn't a lot of
So first, it's not in the Old Testament at all. So like Jewish people, there's no hell. Like it's just where people go to die, right? But in the Bible, there's like a few descriptions of it, and it says where there's wailing and gnashing of teeth, and the worms don't die, basically. And it was compared to basically a landfill outside of Jerusalem.
So not so much torturous as it is like mildly annoying. Like you're just in a dark place wondering what the
all these fucking worms everywhere.
What does that sound? There's
Will you
worms
stop
everywhere?
Fucking gnashing your teeth? I'm so sick of it.
Someone's chewing loudly forever. That is kind of hell. Just.
By the way, I'd like to take a second to thank our sponsors. This episode is brought to you by Mountain Dew, Baja Blast, and Taco Bell. So
this is the juice right here.
What is that? Dirty Baja Blast. Have you tried that?
No. Is that
alcoholic.
Is that liquored up? Yeah.
I don't think it's alcoholic. It's like something else in it.
Okay, but there is alcoholic Baja Blast. That is a thing that exists.
Yeah, they sell that at the cantinas, right? The bar
you can
ones.
get. I've seen cans of it available too. You can get like cans of alcoholic Baja Blast.
I did used to use Baja Blast as a mixer back when I was poor, and drank. So.
Yeah, no, this is really great for any alcoholic 15-year-old gamer who wants to get a quick fix. It's perfect.
Alcoholic 15-year-olds? Is that the prime demo for Hazbin Hotel?
I mean, I'm not going to say it is, but, we had a new merch drop today. So to all you alcoholic 15-year-old gamers out there...
we're going to get demonetized.
Shit's fucking monetized?
No.
I didn't think we could be monetized anymore. I thought they did away with that.
Did they?
Yeah, just us in general.
Oh, man, this LA traffic is crazy.
Yeah, no, I love...
Too many people have cars here.
Too many people have cars here. Our public transport system is absolutely
Doesn't
awful.
Exist.
We spend somewhere around $20 gajillion on police out here. So the traffic was caused by...
I'm pretty sure New York spends more on police, right?
I don't even fucking know.
What are the
All I'll say
budgets?
is like I was running late here because there was one poor homeless person having a hard time, and they were surrounded by not one, not two, but 7 goddamn cop cars surrounding them with people.
Cars, each
Yeah,
individual. How
cars
many actual
with
cops? How many
guys
people?
standing on either side with their like SWAT vests on. This guy did not have a weapon or anything else. He was completely harmless.
So LA police is only 2 billion, whereas New York police is 10 billion.
That's too many billions. That might
Well,
actually
New
be
York
too many
is a big
billions.
city, you know. It's rich, and they don't drive cars as much as they do in LA. Like there's just a bunch of like cops just standing around at subway stops to just kind of hang out, you know. I think it's funny whenever people like criticize the cops at subway stations for not doing anything, but like that's good, you
Yeah,
know.
no,
Like
good.
that's the best possible cop is just sitting there
take the day off,
eating your
man.
donuts, just standing in the corner, maybe giving people directions every now and then. That's the ideal world. I don't really want them
If
beating up homeless looking people.
no,
You
if
know.
you see a cop who's just sitting on his ass, just eating a fucking donut or something, just go up to him and say, "Hey, doing a heck of a job, Phil.
In New
Great
York,
job."
in New York, it's real difficult to tell who's homeless and who's not. You know, so if the police just started beating up,
Yeah, no, I mean, have you
they
seen?
just start beating up everybody.
You've seen New York Fashion Week. It's not a big step away. So but yeah, it's. I don't know. I think that the interesting thing about LA is that we have decided that you absolutely have to have a car here, but
Mhm.
we have also decided to absolutely make that the most inconvenient thing in the world.
Oh, it's terrible. Parking
Especially,
is always bad here. It's
yeah,
real bad.
it's
I would rather
atrocious.
park in
Yeah.
Manhattan. Like unironically, parking in Manhattan is easier than in LA. And I don't know. Maybe it's just because congestion pricing just happened, but this place
There's also infinite construction. Construction
terrible.
never stops here. The
Mhm.
same block has been under construction for the better part of 20 years.
Well, that's America. And
Yeah.
you know why construction takes so long? It's because it's cheaper to do it long to take forever. Because then you don't have to like have deadlines, have like high amount of like people out there working and like knock it out real quick. And every time whenever they're doing a construction project, so whenever you do construction on the road, there is an increase in accidents and casualties, and people will die from the construction over the years because you know, people are slamming on their brakes, they're not expecting the construction, all that. So there's a guy who calculates how much the cost of those accidents will be, and calculates that in how much long, like, as we drag it out, will we save enough money to make up for all the people who will die for the extended construction period. So behind every construction project, there's a statistician who's doing that work.
You know what? What did that pop up on one of those like career tests you took in middle school?
No, this was actually from college. I learned this from like a stats professor. He was one of the guys who they asked to do that, and he just refused. He
That
was
is
like,
so
"No."
it's so wild. There's so many career paths that it's just like, how the fuck did you end up here? Like, what were the steps that ended up like being like this very specific
Whenever you
job?
get into like these stats guys and stuff, there's a lot of jobs that stats guys can get into that are like horrifying, like the numbers they're running and stuff. So as long as you don't care about the horrors, you can get employed for. I mean, I don't know how it's going to be under this under the Trump administration that hates smart people, but for a while that's how it was.
I'd like to take a small clip of what you just said there and just apply that to the economy. As long as you don't care about the horrors, you can become employed. And that might actually be the entire economic plan of this administration.
It's kind of just like America in general, I guess. Like
As
the
long as you don't care about the
the stronger
horrors.
stomach you have, the more money you can take, you know?
Yeah, I want to apply that to anything. If as long as you don't care about the horrors, we can absolutely go out to dinner tonight. As long as you don't care about the horrors, yeah, we can take a walk in
And
the
I
park.
mean, when I say horrors, like it's not necessarily like, you know, people dying. It could just be going to sit in a cubicle every day for 5 days a week.
That is my horror.
Like
I
as
would the thing I'm more terrified of than anything else is boredom.
Dude,
I am
cubicles are the
yeah.
worst. It is hell. Like I've done it a lot. I've had a lot of different jobs working in tech, just sitting in my fucking cubicles. And I started doing remote work before COVID even hit because I got to where I had like enough experience where I could do it. And then they started sending everybody back to office to protect their commercial real estate because I found out my company, like a substantial amount of the ownership of the shareholders was Vanguard and BlackRock. Which do you know what they are?
I mean, they sound like villainous organizations, so I'm gonna assume they
Yeah,
are.
it's their so they hold they're investments company things. Like you can invest in them and they're invested in a bunch of other things.
Mm.
And people give their money to them, and then it's people who don't want to think about where they're giving their money. They give their money to Vanguard. Vanguard takes care of it, right? Vanguard has a lot of commercial real estate holdings. So, and they also have a lot of like percentages of all of the big tech companies. So they're like, from there, as a shareholder, like the shareholder meeting for Apple, they're like, we should send everybody back to the office for productivity. But the real answer is they also own the commercial buildings that the tech companies are working out of, and they want to keep that value up, which is cratering because people are working from home. So that's the real reason they're sending everybody back to the office, not because it increases productivity. There's some sectors where it's very important to be in the office, but a lot of it, office is kind of just a distraction. People in cubicles do a lot to distract themselves from the horrors of being in the cubicle.
Again, you could, as long as you don't care about the horrors, you can refer to, you can return to your office work.
That's
I've never
capitalism, baby.
I have never had like an office job, and I'm thankful for that due to all the neurodivergence. I'm pretty sure I would go on some sort of rampage. But like even the jobs I have now, because there's no such thing as a side hustle when you're acting. There's no such like
Everything's a side hustle.
no, everything's just a hustle. It's
Yeah.
all just main hustles. So
Right.
so unless you're like an A-lister who's making so much fucking money off of a few months of shooting a film or something like that, and then you're just like, yeah, 8-month vacation after completing that project, you need to have something else. You're living in squalor. So like,
Do you have, with your new job, do you have like Teams or Slack to communicate?
oh, everything's on Discord. Everything's
Y'all
on
use
Discord.
Discord?
Yes, it's better than okay. I've tried Slack.
Yeah,
I've
but
tried
that's like
Asana.
the gamer. That's the gamer thing.
Okay,
though.
but hear it
like,
out. You are able to send large files through Discord.
I mean,
way
Discord
ea-
is better, but
it's just better organized.
I've
It's
never
way
had
better
a
organized.
corporation be like, let's use Discord. It's always it seems like everybody's doing Slack, Teams these days, even though I like Slack better. But the Teams notification sounds like I have PTSD from it. The
I
like
am upset. So like Discord doesn't allow you to change the sounds, right? But they will change the sounds and the call music and stuff for the holidays.
only on holidays.
On the holidays. And the thing that upsets is that the music that they do for like Halloween and Christmas time and everything slaps like crazy. For some reason, Discord goes so hard. They hire some like synth wave electronic music, like music person to come in and do a little remix just for the holidays. And it's so much better than what they just have all the time. So like, yeah, I'll get down to like the Discord call music for the Halloween season. Absolutely slaps. But that's
so
the
you,
thing.
so you're not even aware of like the Teams call sound.
I tell them to get it.
Bum 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 bum.
No, I do calls there. I do calls there. I
Teams?
can't get away from that. It also sucks because Teams has the worst filter, so I look shittier on Teams than anything else. I'm like, please use Zoom, guys. Like, I don't want any of you to know I have skin pores. This is fucking bullshit.
There are some options on Teams to do skin smoothing.
It's not very good though.
Yeah,
like the Zoom one, the Zoom one's way better.
Zoom is really nice.
But
I look nice on
but
Zoom.
yeah, I think the trip of this is that I'm now on top of the acting stuff. I'm also like working in the merchandise and licensing side of our shows, which is a grown-up job. And so
do you want to plug some of your merch? Is the merchandise like available yet?
Oh yeah, no, we have several. I mean, both shows are all over Hot Topic right now. So you go to Hot Topic and get our Helluva Boss stuff, or Hazbin Hotel stuff. I'm gonna have my character soon enough in Helluva Boss like popping up in there.
I was trying to explain Hazbin Hotel and Helluva Boss to someone yesterday, and I told him like it was like designed to sell merch at Hot Topic. Like it's like, did y'all when the show was coming up, did you be like, we're gonna sell some t-shirts at Hot Topic?
Took years. It took years. It was actually the first.
But y'all like knew eventually.
Yeah, well, that was
right?
the first priority when I took over this position. Was just like we need to be in Hot Topic because it's just the most obvious choice for these shows.
It does seem like it was designed for Hot Topic, like the goth thing with all of the characters and
everything's red and
the
black.
lore.
It's all like tongue-in-cheek demon stuff.
I feel like
you
in
can
the
put
future
an
it'll
entire
be like
outfit together there.
It'll be like Nightmare Before Christmas for Hot Topic. It's just kind of always there.
That's the hope. I mean, the hope is that even after the shows are done, they're still releasing new Nightmare Before Christmas stuff. That film's like 30 years old, so they're still releasing new Nightmare stuff. So that's the hope here, is that we just match the aesthetic.
It's like a young audience, they latch on to it and they'll never grow out of it. It'd be like Harry Potter adults, right? Like still getting Hufflepuff tattoos 30 years later.
Yeah. We've swapped over. I like established the rings of hell as like different aesthetics and different sort of like things to make your houses.
7 rings of hell, like Dante's Inferno?
It's the sins, yeah. So you have like,
so there's like gluttony and
gluttony, pride, wrath, lust,
whatever.
and each one of those has like your ruler, your embodiment of it, who's like a
and
character
they all
on
like
the
look
show.
Visually different.
They do, yeah. We had a notably like
do they all have like different filters, like in Breaking Bad when they go to Mexico, it's a sepia filter?
I mean, honestly, yes. So like the Greed Ring, which is run by a character named Mammon, voiced by Michael Cusack, who is hysterical.
Mammon is how you say it?
Mammon, yeah.
I always thought it was Mammon.
And Mammon is how we spell it.
Oh, yeah,
so,
like change it a little bit.
Depends. But like that has, their aesthetic there is green. It's like a heavy green aesthetic to everything for greed. So
is there like a lot of money and stuff? Does he like bathe in a pile of money?
In a way,
Scrooge?
he's very capitalist oriented and really manipulates his entertainers that he rules over. And then we have like the Gluttony Ring, which is run by Beelzebub, and Beelzebub is like this fun like half fennec fox, half bee sort of character, and she's voiced by Kesha.
So it's like she's a fox with wings.
Yeah, and she's
honey.
Yeah, she's voiced by Kesha and has a song and everything, and she's like this party.
I didn't know y'all had Kesha on this.
We have some good people on this cast. Yeah,
I watched a few episodes, but I didn't retain a lot of it.
In the first season, because he had time during lockdown, like one of our characters, Stryker, was voiced by Norman Reedus. We have a ton of Broadway talents.
Who's Norman? Oh yeah,
Norman The Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead.
Yeah. So it's like we've had a lot of like amazing people, and our Broadway cast is just like a who's who. Hazbin has got Keith David in Hazbin Hotel as one of our main characters, and it's just a who's who of like amazing musical talents.
Do you remember that time Keith David showed up in Pirates of the Caribbean 3
and just
Jack Sparrow's dad?
Did he?
Yeah, you don't remember that?
Keith David did?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I do not remember that at all.
He was like in it for like 2 minutes. I'm pretty sure. Did I dream this?
I'm not sure. I'm going to look that up. I don't remember that. Are you not like
a Pirates of the Caribbean?
No, it's just been a long time since I saw Pirates of the Caribbean, like the Caribbean. But like, I love Keith David and everything. He's got more drip than I've ever seen a human being have. He shows up everywhere with just like an impeccable.
They're negotiating pirate law or whatever, and then one of them, it's like a big pirate convention. And then one of them suggests like fuck the pirate code or whatever. And Keith David is sitting over in a corner with a guitar. And when they say that, he breaks a guitar string. And then they I'll go like, okay, never mind.
Are you sure it's Keith David and not Keith Richards?
Might be Keith Richards.
It's definitely Keith Richards.
I get my Keiths mixed up.
Keith David is a very black man, and I do
not. That's a different guy. This guy was not black.
I do not think that they tried to pass off Johnny Depp as half black.
Let me look up Keith Richards. Sorry,
these are Keith David and Keith Richards are exceptionally
Jamie,
different people.
Can you put Keith Richards on the screen? Yeah, I know Keith David. Yeah.
A very different man.
very different guy. The last thing I saw him in was John Mulaney's Sack Lunch Bunch. Have you seen that?
I have not.
That's one of my favorite. I mean, it's a comedy special, but it's all just sketches. It's not him doing stand-up. But he's just got a bunch of kids, and it's like a parody of a kids show from like the 90s. And he does a bunch of these sketches with these kids. And then he does songs too. And David shows up as a algebra teacher with only one eye. And he starts singing a song about how algebra is really important because if he had learned algebra, that he wouldn't have lost his eye. And he comes in and does a song and a dance for this kid. He's hired by the parents to do that, to make this
Keith
kid
David
value
would have
algebra.
sang that song to me when I was in school, I might know math.
And
I might actually know how to do math at this point.
And the bit in the song is that he keeps going on and on about this story. and it has nothing to do with algebra, and you never find out how algebra would have saved his eye. But that's just how it goes. John Mulaney and the Sack Lunchbox, that's like one of my favorite things on Netflix. Like I rewatch it pretty often, and that was before all the stuff about his cocaine usage came out. So he hasn't done anything with kids since then, which is sad because the way he interacts with kids is really funny to me.
I just think it's a major, major black mark on the world of comedy to find out that somebody does cocaine.
Is it?
His career will never recover from such scandal.
I guess you can say this on you. I have never done it because I have had a notes job, okay? And it's too expensive.
You're continuously surprised by the lack of drugs I've done.
Yeah, you look like you do poppers. Like that's like what you're going for.
You were surprised this morning.
You told me today you didn't do poppers.
No,
like,
I have never done poppers. I have never.
You sound like you do poppers.
Yeah, well, you also you have been surprised that I am like completely a lesbian because you have said
you do sound like a gay guy in recovery. Like, you know, like you were a gay guy before you came out.
Yeah,
you know?
no, I'm a straight guy in recovery. It's a little bit different.
How did that work?
I'm just from LA. This is just how we fucking sound. This is my regional dialect, okay? Other people adopt sounding this fucking stupid. I had no choice.
To be fashionable.
It's
your culture, you know.
It's just like, it's like, can you get rid of that like bimbo Valley girl voice? I'm like, bitch, how the fuck else did you expect me to sound?
But this is how you talked before you came out.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the normal guy accent, right?
Well, I wasn't a normal guy.
Yeah, but like you say you're a straight guy in recovery. So it more sounds like you were a gay guy who fucked girls.
I mean, it's not completely fucking wrong. The gay guy in every respect, but finding any man attractive.
Just because you're gay doesn't mean you don't have sex with girls like this.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's at least partially part of it. But at the same time, it's just like, yeah, I am baffled whenever like we're in a group chat together and everyone starts talking about like finding a guy attractive. I'm just like, how the fuck?
So 0 guys are attractive to you.
I mean,
not even like the top shelf.
No, I can point out like literally the way that a lamp might be a good-looking lamp.
So Brad Pitt tries to kiss you and you punch him.
No,
right?
Yeah, absolutely not. I would say it's just like I am very much like a femme for femme. So maleness and shit like that. It's just like, okay, that just on a scale of attractiveness to me, the more you go towards that level, it's just like, well, you're just getting away from the things I find attractive at that point. Brad Pitt would be like the lowest.
So like,
like on the low tier of something that I could even potentially go for.
I'm definitely more into girls than I am into guys. It's like, I'm attracted to like 15% of girls and I'm attracted to about 5% of guys. So it's just a lot, it's a lot harder for a guy to swoop in or whatever.
You go for the cream of the crop at that point.
Yeah. Like I'm top shelf straight. Like,
yeah, I'm the only one of a lot of people I know who has like never made out with a dude. Never.
At parties, even as a joke?
No, not even as a fucking joke or anything like that. It has never happened.
That's crazy. You didn't play sports.
Yeah, how the fuck could you tell? How the fuck could you tell? I know it's gonna be shocking. Wait, is that something that's done often in sports? What are sports like?
Gay.
I already thought they were gay. I didn't realize they were that gay.
They keep it on the down low, like publicly, but the stuff that happens in like locker rooms and like the camaraderie or whatever. I mean, okay, so I haven't seen like kissing stuff, but they grab each other's dicks. They pull your pants down. And if you don't participate, they call you gay. So like I used to hate that stuff because I know I wasn't a guy and I was always like girly and stuff and I didn't want to like take my clothes off in front of these guys.
So much more sense to me how you're a jock. It really is. It's making so much more sense to me.
But they will like get mad at you. You remember the pantsing era in the early 2010s? You would just go around and pants people and then you would call them gay for getting pantsed. You don't remember this?
No, I do remember this. And now it's like bringing back a lot of things. There's like clicking together. I'm like, yeah, that was pretty damn gay.
It doesn't make any sense.
No. It's just like, yeah, it seems like
Come into my house.
There were a lot of
pull my pants down. Call me gay.
This is just, I mean, I don't know if they're just desperately seeking a bottom at that point. I don't know what it is. It's like, no, if you're not gay, you will be gay. Okay, I am checking out what you have going on.
I mean,
here.
it's just you could be gay, but only as a joke.
Yeah.
Like it always had to be a joke. And if you couldn't joke about being gay, then you were gay.
I think it's always interesting. Like we're, you know, as we get into
and this is like conservative jocks is what I'm talking about.
It.
This is not like gay people who are trying to like, who are actually being gay and shit. It's like people who like hate gay people, but like expect you to pretend to act gay as a joke. And if you don't do it, they call you gay.
Mainstream audiences are never willing to like really hear this shit out. It's just like, it's been so interesting. Like, you know, representation's already such a bizarre thing within our industry because it's like representing what exactly? We are so...
You can't show that in sports movies. You can't show what goes on in these locker rooms in all the sports movies they watch
so
because
not ready. Like they'll call it woke, and it's just like, no, that's just what they do. I'm sorry, but if you're showing the reality of just like, that's not woke. It's just showing the reality of just how gay the locker rooms of sporting events get. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just like that's a whole.
Do you know much about like frat parties and frats and stuff, and like what you have to do to rush?
I mean, I've heard. Do
you know what an elephant walk is?
Oh dear God. Okay, no, fill me in. As I'm sure they were filled in.
So this is a thing that frats do to haze new recruits or whatever. They make them all take their clothes off and make a chain grabbing each other's dicks.
Now here's the crazy thing.
And they have to walk around like in a circle, like around, like they parade them around. And it's called an elephant walk because, you know, elephants will have the
Let me just put it this way. So I go to a lot of gay clubs. I go to a lot of gay clubs, mostly because it's just like, you know, I travel a lot with Brandon Rogers, who frequent castmate. He's the star of Helluva Boss. I've been in like 6 different series on YouTube with him. So we do a lot of conventions together. We go all over the country and are guesting at conventions. And then after the con, we basically look up like, where's the nearest gay bar? And we go out to these things. We party, we rage, we get trashed. How late y'all
stay out when y'all do that?
What's that?
How late y'all stay out when...
Oh God, it's like 2, 3 a.m. in the morning.
But this is like when you're done with all the stuff and you're about to go home?
Oh, no. We have conventions the next day. Yeah, no.
That's crazy.
Here's the good thing. The good thing about it being part of a raunchy series like ours is that if I'm completely hungover the next day, I will make I'll make a bit out of it. It's a bit. But
it like hurts you, right? Like it's difficult to power through your hangover.
But it's not boring. And that's the thing. It's just like, it kind of keeps the energy and the chaos of it going. Like I thrive on chaos. My panels are the most chaotic, anarchic panels you can possibly go to at a convention. I host all of them. And they are meant to be entertaining shit shows.
The stuff you host has been hotel stuff, right?
And Helluva, yeah. It's usually like the main panels for everything. I've done a few other hosting things. It's mostly for the cast. But every time we've gone out to a gay club, there's a lot of gay shit happening around. Nothing is as gay as that. That is gayer than anything that people are just like imagining happens at one of these clubs.
The stuff that happens in frat parties when you're rushing is the gayest stuff in America. I swear to God.
It is wild. It's just, again, though, it's like you'll never see this in media and people will never believe it. In the same way that it's just like, I don't know, I'm blessed to be in the sort of indie scene that I am right now, in which we get to show our type of representation that feels like out of the box, like but it's a lot more representative of like what the community is really like. Versus, versus like what's in the mainstream right now. So, I think that straight people should get real representation.
We really
of what
do
like.
Need more. We need more representation of what gay shit looks like with straight people because they participate. They just don't. They're not serious. It all has to be a joke. All the time. And that's why
as long as you say no homo while holding your buddy's dick, then you're fine.
The reason the frats do this is because they think it's funny to like make dudes be gay, right?
And just like, at a certain point, it's just like, wow, Ryan really likes this gay joke. It's just like he really, really likes this gay joke. He must really not like gay people to be doing this gay
Anyways,
stuff like
this
this.
is why I was always one of the outcasts of the sports teams I was on. Even though, like in basketball, I was like the best player, like all around, but I was always like kind of an outcast because I would not take my clothes off in front of them. I would not participate in any of the gay shit. And if they did any of it to me, I would not be cool about it. I would be like, no, that's sexual assault. Don't pull my pants down in public.
I bounced from all of that. I was never involved in sports. I took the F. I flunked out of school. I like fucked off to LA and was like going to punk clubs and helping like orchestrate art shows and things like that. I didn't even try in PE. I never changed in the locker room because I'm like, I'll fail.
Here's
I'm
the
fine.
irony
I'm flunking.
about trans women in sports, right? In women's sports. Women's locker rooms are nothing like this. They're very normal, like compared to the stuff that guys do. And the idea that you want trans women to go in those locker rooms with these dudes who are pulling their pants down and grabbing their dicks and stuff, it just doesn't vibe. Like on a culture level, trans women can't do these kind of, unless they're huge whores, you know?
I mean,
into that kind of shit, but that's not me,
that's
you know?
the thing. It's like, I don't know. I was in the alt scene. I was obviously a goth kid. I was a goth kid who was into anime and pop culture shit and cosplay and all of that. And that had its own queerness to it. Obviously, that all had its own queerness to it.
It was more upfront and like they would dress queer and shit. And like these are all dudes that like very scared of being called gay in public, but behind closed doors.
We're doing shit like
do you know what I think it's called goading somebody?
Goading.
Yeah.
No, this is all you know the terms. You know the frat terms.
It's where so have you seen a billy goat? Like
yes,
I am
aware of what a goat is. Yes.
Right, but like they got big balls.
I have noticed.
They're very visible. Yeah. But it's what you do is you trick your buddies into seeing your balls. So it's kind of like the game, the circle game where like if you can get someone to look at your circle down here below the waist, you get to punch their dick. Well,
yeah,
punch them,
obviously, yeah.
but it's like that, except this time it's showing them your balls.
That is wild. I mean, again, remember, keep in mind, like
these are all straight guys, by the way.
Me as like a fucking androgynous fucking goth teenager was called every anti-gay slur under the fucking. I've never done any of that.
I know this shit happened at your school.
Probably,
but they never told you because you're too gay on the surface.
It's so wild. I mean, the thing that really worked for me. I mean, especially
what they want to see is
like,
they want to make straight guys go gay. They don't want to see gay guys go gay.
No,
you know?
no. I mean, obviously, it's like being like an androgynous, like pre-transition, like goth kid. It's the easiest thing to just swap over from. It's just like, yeah, I'm playing with makeup a little bit to like doing a little bit more makeup.
People encourage it, you know.
And now I have.
Oh, you're wearing a miniskirt now. That's cool.
Yeah, no, it's just like, wow, they're really. And then I now have amazing tits. That's how that progresses.
So like for me, from going to like a jock guy to, I mean, I was like a nerd jock. I was like the kind of jock who would play Pokemon in between games, but I was in like I wore athletic stuff all the time, sweatpants, t-shirts.
You were
hoodies.
up on what's going on in sports too.
Yeah,
you knew what was going on.
I knew all the sports stuff, and I knew about sports and how to tell people to play it and all this kind of, and had opinions. And then whenever I transferred into being like a preppy girl, I mean, I'm not always, but whenever I'm dressed up, I look like that. Just the vitriol is just crazy. Like it was like a complete death of who I was before, because everybody who knew me then like disappeared immediately. So it's like whenever, I mean, I don't know how it was with you transitioning, but with me it was like when I came out, it was like there was no one who remembered anything about me up till now.
I think
So,
everyone I knew like rewrote their knowledge
oh, they
of
just went
me.
back and rewrote
I mean,
it?
that's the thing is that a lot of friends of mine who knew me before have forgotten what my dad name is. They just it's just like it's just
Really?
weird to them. They've just forgotten. And but the thing is that my friends have always been predominantly queer women. It has
Right.
always been that way. It has
So
always been
lucky.
predominantly queer women. And that's the whole thing for me. I feel very kind of disconnected from a lot of people's trans experience because mine was kind of lit as far as my transition went,
Mhm.
because all that happened was that I got hotter and the queer female friends of mine
Started being attracted to you.
suddenly got into me.
Yeah.
Which again, like I just have the most
I
amazing, wonderful, hot friends in the world, and now I just like hang out and watch anime with them and cosplay with them, and that is the life that I live.
I had a
Which
lot
again
of
is like the guys who would have given me a shit and called me like, called me gay or slurs and stuff like that before transitioning, who are all doing shit like what you're saying right now. It's just like, yeah, I transitioned, I'm doing all this stuff, and now I'm hanging out and I'm friends with like every girl who they pay immense amounts of money subscribing to their OnlyFans and everything else. And that's my life now.
there's a lot of girls who are very into trans girls before they come out because they can smell the girl on us, but we count as dudes. So like societally, they're like, oh, I can marry that girl.
I should honestly receive an award from GLAAD for the amount of people I have turned bisexual or lesbian. I've done a great service. I most of my fans predominantly, even with all the surprises people with the amount of like thirst traps and shit like that I post on my social media, my fan base is like 70% women. It's like
That's so
70%
lucky.
younger, like alternative women. And it's because like for me, I give the air like number one, like that, I'm into women for one. It's certainly like that is what I lean towards. That is the audience I'm interested in, sort of catering to. I do it for like, girls and gays, and that's fucking it. And if anyone else enjoys it, welcome. It may not be for you, but I hope you enjoy yourselves. But it's led to an interesting audience because like I can't really think of a lot of other trans women I look at who have like alternative sapphic energy. Even the ones who are like in their private lives bisexual in the mainstream kind of have to gear towards like a mainstream form of straight. They are absolutely at a lack of trans women who clearly eat pussy. I think that is
Hmm.
something that is very rare to find in the
Well, these
mainstream.
people, they assume. See, I think that lesbians deserve to have access to girls who do traditional femininity or like more like mainstream aesthetic really well, you know? It's crazy to think that lesbians aren't attracted to that kind of woman. It's not fair.
No, I mean it's
Lesbians
like
deserve it too. They should do all kinds of women, and just the way that people always assume that girls that like dress like me and present the way I do online, that I'm not into girls.
my
It's
girl my
psychotic.
my girlfriend who I speak about constantly because I'm just madly in love with her, Jen. We spent our Valentine's Day getting lip filler together.
Nice.
And that's just like delightfully
Valentine's
sapphic.
Day, but then it's
We had a great night before.
okay.
That's
Yeah, you
yeah, it's
can't
like
kiss
that
after
was
that.
when the schedule was available for us to go in, but we also just found an absolutely adorable that a femme for femme couple, and like Jen is not trans, which is a rarity in our
Hmm.
community of not being a T for T relationship, but like
There's tea for cis too.
there is
And
it's
there's also
rare.
pre-op and post-op, and that's basically the same thing.
It's rarer. It's rarer, obviously. But like, yeah, we found that adorable that we spent our Valentine's Day getting lip filler together. It was a wonderful,
That is a
adorable
pretty
bonding
good couples
experience.
experience. It's like getting a massage, but a little bit better.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was great. And then,
You resisted the lip filler for a long
oh,
time.
I was a
I told
fool.
you,
I was a fool,
I tried. How
Stacy.
many times did I tell you to get lip
Here's the
filler?
thing. I was worried because I have a really nice lip shape, and I was worried about fucking with
What?
that. I didn't realize that it would
Fish?
accentuate
As
what
long
I
as you don't
already
get
had.
4 syringes, you'll be
No,
fine.
no, I'm already at the point where I want another half,
Yeah, I know.
syringe.
You
Yeah,
get used to the new plumpness, and you're like,
no, it was
"Alright,
fucking great.
alright."
It's a great decision. And this is like I've had, I've had FFS and now I had like the lip fillers. It's mostly been up here I've been dealing with. The tits came in great and I don't want bottom surgery, so everything else is working great for me. And it
Hmm.
was just like doing the lip filler. I'm like, okay, that's
Lip
slapping right
filler
there. That and a blowout. Like getting
dollar.
getting getting my hair
Oh
curled
yeah, that
and
matters
like
so
actually
much.
properly done. I'm like, okay, that is more affirming than anything else I could have done. What have I been waiting for on
Dollar
that?
for dollar, getting lip filler is like the most gender affirming procedure that I've had.
It's just
Like
it
it's
just
so
pulls the
cheap, it's
entire
so
makeup look
easy.
together. I went out of my way to like change my makeup look just to like really draw the eyes into having like amazing lips right now. It's great.
Anyways, you should get lip filler. If you're a trans woman watching this, don't be afraid of lip filler. I mean, go to a good person. Ask around.
Shout
There's
shout
there
out shout out to Dr. Vahi. Amazing.
Vahi.
Has the touch
You
of
went
an
to a
angel.
doctor?
Yeah.
I went to just an esthetician, I think. Yeah, just an esthetician
I
and
think he's a
whatever.
doctor.
There's this
He might
girl
be a
named
doctor.
Sophia in Kansas City. I don't know if I'll go back to her or find a new one because I moved to Baltimore now, so I have to find all new people, which
No, I mean
sucks.
you're in LA right now. It's a plethora out here. But yeah, no,
Yeah, but I'm
doc,
not gonna
yeah.
be here all the time, so I need someone that's like I guess.
She's saying I thought it was gonna hurt way worse than it did, and then I like started laughing. I'm like, this is fucking nothing. I can tell what you're doing right now, and this is nothing.
Wait. So your lip, mine was painful as hell.
Well, I had it. Have you had electrolysis?
No.
I had electrolysis. Compared to electrolysis, this
Okay.
wasn't shit. That is medieval torture. So this
Uh-huh.
after having electrolysis and doing all that, the lip filler, nothing. Absolutely
I
nothing.
know. I know some people who'll put you under for electrolysis so you can get your whole body done.
Oh
Yeah,
damn.
like an 8-hour procedure. It's just I know some people, this place in Chicago, and that's how they would do it. But I mean, laser's already torturous enough for me.
Yeah, like no, if you
And
don't
it,
know what electrolysis is for people watching, that is when they take a tiny hair thin needle connected to an electrical circuit and they just put it into each one of your hair follicles and give you a shock in each individual pore to try to kill that. And you have to go over that over and over and over again. It is exactly as awful as you would imagine it being.
and that's you're not blonde.
No, I have like light brown hair, but I dye it red.
So why did you well, okay, so laser's a lot cheaper and less painful. It's more like it's better than electrolysis if you have dark hair, like over time. Why did you do electrolysis?
Thick hair. I have like Jewish Italian hair and
Yeah,
laser
but
was not doing it. It
it
was
wasn't.
nope, it was not enough.
I mean, you got to do lots of treatments because your hair grows in cycles and it can only blast the ones that are active, while electrolysis blasts them all.
I think that's just I needed that done more than anything else. Like I
Hmm.
actually got electrolysis and like laser hair removal on my body done before I started HRT.
Yeah, I started laser before I started. I started lasering off my face, and I was asking my guy friends like, "Is it gay to laser off your face?" And I had like a full beard, so it was like some people like wish they could have had that, like dudes, and they thought I was crazy for lasering off my face. But then I started taking the hormones, and I was like,
Oh, that
"Oh yeah,
tracks now. Yeah.
that
No, I mean
makes
you know
sense."
my whole like transition journey. It's like, I did, which is the crazy thing is that like I was out for 8 years before taking my first dose of
That just sounds like
HRT.
hell to me.
I mean, here's the thing. I was already androgynous enough where people didn't realize I wasn't on HRT. Like I just always had like
See, in
breast runs
Arkansas,
on
if you
everything
look
else.
androgynous, people will kill you.
What's the
Like,
thing? It was an easy sort of like way to like, do my makeup and hair right and everything
uh-huh.
like that. And nobody knew the difference. So I got electrolysis and everything else done before I even like went on HRT. I was 2 years
You
out
you
full
do you do like
time.
full body electrolysis?
Yeah. Well, not like full body laser hair. I don't need electrolysis in the face.
Oh,
Yeah.
brutal.
Yeah, it was a crazy process, but that's what I like needed to be. I like tried a bunch of other things before hitting HRT, and then once I started HRT, I'm like, well, that was fucking dumb. Um, but yeah, I was out for almost 2 years full time before actually like taking my first dose of
That is
HRT.
absolutely unhinged. I cannot believe you did that.
It's a different journey
I
for
was
everyone.
I
I
was
was
on
I was
hormones.
modeling professionally 5 years before I was like officially on hormones. I was modeling as a girl, and people didn't know.
There's probably only 3 cities in America where you could do that. Most of America, Absolutely goddamn not.
Probably not. But again, I've always been in alt scenes. Alt scenes didn't give a fuck. I mean, I do definitely live in a bubble. Like I live in a bubble here for sure.
Sounds
And
like a nice bubble.
it's a good bubble. It's
Wish
definitely
it
a good
wish it could have
bubble.
been that way.
Yeah, it's like I think for me, it's like, even the projects that I like star in, like, as crazy and chaotic as they are, like, I've done again several series with Brandon Rogers, most notably Class Acts, which is like my favorite, one of my favorites I've done with him. Every character I play in these projects is trans. I refuse to play a character that is
Wait, you only
notably
play
not.
one character in Class Acts, right?
Yes,
So you're
yes.
not like doing a Robert Downey Jr.
No,
thing
no,
where
no,
you're
no,
playing
no.
6 people?
Yeah, no, no. For every project I do, every character I play is trans. I don't
Mhm.
want to play a character who is explicitly not trans, regardless. I know some trans women who are act do want that. I don't. And the reason for that is that we don't bring it up in the storyline. Like, there's a couple jokes I wrote that I'm like very proud of in Class Acts, which are like reference my character being trans. But in general, like the stories that we do for all the crazy comedy we do and the crazy outlandish shit, there's a lot of trans women I act with in Brandon's projects, and the story is never about them being trans. It's never about that.
Mhm.
And that's kind of just how I want things. I kind of in our projects live in a world I wish our world was, where it's neither hidden nor spotlighted that we are
It's just
transgender.
just normal.
No, I never want to do a storyline in which that is like a major point of contention or anything else. It's been done a million fucking times. So I'm proud that like the characters that I have in a lot of these projects are characters that just get to tell stories that aren't that. They usually get to be raunchy. They get to have other fucked up problems and things like that that aren't about them crying in the mirror about being trans or anything like that. I never want a scene in which it's just like a wink at the camera or one of those like inspiration porn moments that like Netflix can take where it's like, here's the screen cap we're going to release on the tranny day that shows like we are people. People don't understand that we are people. We are humans with feelings. I will never do a monologue like that. Fuck that.
I just need, in general, guys to stop playing trans women. It really sucks. Like, Transparent, I can't watch it.
Oh
I
God, no.
can't.
I mean, I'm glad
Absolutely
that that's
not.
older now. It's just
Yeah.
like there are more of us in the scene, thankfully. So it's like there are, the problem used to be is that you'd have like 3 trans women you could choose from. And
Mhm.
in Class Acts, there are actually 3 trans women in the main cast.
Nice.
And Brandon didn't even realize he did that. Like, because I'm the only explicitly trans one in there, but like there's 2 other trans one who is like one of the funniest women I've ever met, who's like an older, like like senior actress who's
Hmm.
hysterical. And the other one is Demoria, is like Cornbread Jetty from RuPaul's Drag Race, who's like fucking amazing. And there is a lot more variety now in trans women across the spectrum, different races, different ages, different energies, where it's not just like an any tran will do sort of situation. So there really isn't any reason you would have to go for a cis guy playing one of us now. I mean, you can find any type of trans actress you want in the scene now. So many more of us have gotten into it.
So I got a lot of competition before I get cast and shit, huh?
Yeah, well, I mean, look, here's the thing. Not necessarily. You are like a very specific type. Like me and
I
a
don't think that people think that I exist like the way I like my. Okay, I mean, like I'm very male coded in a lot of the stuff I do, and like Southern male coded. Like I wake up and drink a Coke, and then want to eat a cheesesteak like every day. Like that's what I
okay,
do,
but
and
that's a good type.
I have a Southern accent and stuff, and I know a lot about sports and things like that. But I dress like this, and people, it literally, no one thinks, like, people that like know me from online and know what I look like, and they find out like what I'm actually like, and they're just like, how does this person exist? Like, I don't even know how that will work on screen or anything, because no one expects that
Yeah,
from.
but that is the energy you bring to a role like that. Like I do often say that like whatever is on the page is
But
like
I feel like a lot of that would have to
70.
be like the Stacey K show. I can't just play a
No, you just
character.
like you figure out like okay, say the character is 70% on the page.
Hmm. and
what
then
you
bring
bring
my
during an audition that's like take like actual like subjective acting talent out of it. What is that 30% that you bring to the
well, I
role
think
that's you that adds to the character that no one else can bring? That's your ingredient. So it's like you have an ingredient, you have something you bring in.
do you have anything in particular you want to plug that you haven't already?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I will just say it again. Watch Helluva Boss. Check out Brandon Rogers' YouTube channel. We have Class Acts is a series we have on there. I'm super proud of. We also just started like the first part of what we're hoping to do a lot more of, which is a sci-fi comedy series called Don't Touch My Spacesuit. So be sure to check that out on YouTube. And I'm going to be traveling all year doing convention appearances for the shows and most likely doing stand-up at the different cities I'm going to. So be sure to follow me on my social media pages, and I might be in a town near you, as long as I'm not a felony in your town.
All right, so that is the podcast. Thank you guys for watching. Follow Morgana on Instagram. Is that the preferred way you want people to follow?
Most likely
At Morgana
Instagram. Yeah,
Ignis. Is
until
that
Blue
the
Sky
thing?
starts
We'll
taking off.
put her
Yeah.
stuff in the description. And any other words of advice you want to give people before we log off here? We done?
Yeah. So despite the horrors of the world and everything else, we always win. I think that's the case.
Do we always
We
win?
do always win. It's like look, the bottom line is that things are better now than they were 10 years ago in a lot of ways. I wouldn't go back in time. We just have we have a new photo to fucking
We could
go
get
up
passports
against.
in 2015.
What's that?
We could get passports in 2015.
Yeah, well, we'll get past it. We'll be fine.
We got to bring back Obama.
It'll be
and then
fine.
everything will be fixed.
It'll be fine.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.